What's going on, guys? Brent Rubber Games here with more Armored Core 4 answer using the RPCS3 emulator. Last episode we finished chapter 1 again on our second playthrough of the game, going for some of the other endings, and we completed quite a few missions on hard, and then we ended the chapter by defeating a different arms fort, which is really cool. But in between episodes I did do a little bit of customization. So I swapped out our right arm weapon for one of the sniper rifles. It's the lowest damage sniper rifle that we have, but it's got the fastest fire rate. And yeah, I find some of the heavier damaging sniper rifles, they just fire too slowly for my liking, and it means if you miss any of your shots, it is quite punishing. And then in our left arm we changed our grenade launcher a little bit. So this one has a little bit more damage and a little bit more ammo as well. And then on our back we've got rockets on the right and Gatling gun on the left. So pretty similar to how it was before, towards the end of last episode. But the first mission we're going to be doing is rescue the GA transport unit. And yeah, this mission can be quite difficult. The enemies we'll be going up against do a lot of damage, but hopefully with our rockets, that's the main reason why they're on our next, is you want to destroy the target as quickly as possible to avoid taking too much damage. But we'll give it a go and see how we do.
Here's the mission. The client is GA America. Your target is the Interior Union's land-based arms fort unit. The enemy is currently pursuing a GA America transport unit through the Loro Desert. Your task is to neutralize them before they can take out GA's forces. The Interior Union arms forts are armed with multiple strafing lasers. Once our transports come in range of those weapons, they'll be dead in the sand. Keep that in mind. Basically, we just need you to take it out fast. Nothing fancy. That's it. This is a good job for the right links. Contact us.
So yeah, obviously we've seen the land crabs that we'll be facing quite a few times before now, but these ones aren't equipped with heavy cannons. They're equipped with basically long range shotgun lasers that will absolutely destroy your health regardless of what build you're running. So we definitely want to avoid that, but hopefully we'll be able to get close enough with our rockets and defeat them from a decent range and not take any damage. I don't think we need to worry about the smaller targets too much, but we'll see.
Commence mission. Destroy all enemy arms fort units. The virtual defense line is displayed on your radar. Enemy units crossing that line will have a firing solution on the transports. That equals mission failure for us. We don't want that to happen, do we? Hold the line.
We'll just destroy those guys quickly so we don't take any damage from them. So obviously we took out this land crab, sort of using him as a bit of cover. You can hear the other land crab shooting at us. Let's see if we can show off the lasers that they're using. So yeah, as you can see, shotgun lasers of death. They're quite difficult to avoid as well.
Okay, enemy arms fort down. Just mopping up now.
So yeah, you do need to take care of the smaller targets, but I'd definitely say the land crabs are your sort of main worry, just because of the amount of damage they do. Sniper rifle not doing too great against these enemies.
units have been destroyed. Mission is successful. The transports are safe. Good work.
Thankfully we have our good trusty grenade cannon though. Always a useful weapon to have. They feel quite good to use as well. Very hard hitting, a lot of feedback. So thankfully got an S rank. We did take quite a lot of damage, and quite a lot of that was just the sort of smaller enemies shooting us with their energy weapons, because energy weapons penetrate primal armor. So you have to have a slightly different setup to defend against them more effectively. Yeah, the land crabs did do a lot of damage. We did take a little bit of damage from one of the land crabs, but thankfully we didn't sort of get hit by all the shots. It was just one or two of the shots that hit us. But it's very difficult to rack up some costs with the laser shots from the land crabs. But either way, we got a nice S rank. So happy with that result. The next mission we're going to be doing is attack on PA951. Not going to be changing our setup, just because I do like this sort of setup for a heavier build. It is very slow, but you have a lot of defense and a lot of freedom for what weapons you can carry, and we're pretty well suited for all our different ranges really, with our sniper rifle, rockets, Gatling gun, and our grenade cannon.
Here's the mission. The client is GA America. Your target is the PA-N51 new resource plant. This mission is simple. Take out the defenses and destroy the plant. There is one catch, however. You must complete the mission within the specified time frame. I suppose the big shots have their reasons for choosing the links of your caliber. There will be bonuses for completing the mission in as short a time as possible. This is a chance for you to make some extra cash. And that's about it. You could do worse, right? Let us know if you want the job.
So in this mission there's going to be like a dust storm, which is going to make things very difficult to see. So we're going to mainly want to rely on our radar to locate the targets, and it's also going to affect our automatic lock on. So it's a good idea to either use manual targeting or use weapons that require manual targeting, like our rockets. And our rockets with their long range as well, always a good option in a lot of scenarios. But yeah, like they said, you want to complete the mission as quickly as possible for a nice bonus reward. So we see how it goes.
Commence mission. Take out the enemy defenses and destroy the resource plants. The clock's ticking. No time to waste.
So what you're looking for
It's Barat Squadron.
is these sort of
No wonder the
industrial
defense units were targeted.
complexes like this.
Rats.
They don't
Resource
take
plant
much damage
destroyed.
to
2 more
destroy.
to go.
But yeah, you just want to look out for the boosters of the normal enemies that we'll be going up against. Thankfully they jump up and down, so they tend to be quite difficult to, quite easy to find, sorry. And obviously we've got our radar as well. Yeah, you need to take out all the targets, so all the normal enemies as well as the sort of industrial complexes.
Plant destroyed. Just one left.
So something to look out for is sometimes these enemies will get stuck on buildings. So it means you'll have to sort of scour the map at the end of the mission to make sure you find them all.
Confirmed. All plants have been destroyed. Now confirmed. All targets destroyed. Mission complete.
But thankfully that didn't happen. So as you can see, it's a very nice easy mission. Didn't complete it the fastest time, but that's because we're using quite a slow machine. But I tend to find if any of them do get stuck, it's sort of the ones that appeared sort of separately after the first facility that we destroyed. They're sort of coming quite randomly. I find a lot of the time it's those ones that get stuck. So if you follow the same sort of route that we did, destroying the facilities, and then just turn to your left and head forward, you should be able to find them on the radar. But yeah, we completed it fast enough to get a decent special bonus, and our ammo costs and repair costs were basically nothing, so we got a nice S rank. So again, happy with that. Just going to save the game quickly, and again we're not going to be changing up our setup, as it's quite good for the next mission we're doing, which will be defeat Armsfort Stigro.
This is the mission. The client is GA America. The objective is Interior Union's new maritime arms fort, Stigro. Stigros are equipped with large-scale blades at their front. Therefore, launching a frontal assault on one of them would be tantamount to suicide. Avoid doing so. That's all. It's a dangerous mission, but one with a big payday. Let us know.
So this is going to be a very short mission. Like I said, you want to avoid the blade on the front, but all you have to do to avoid that is make sure you're up in the air. And then it does have missiles and stuff, but you won't be around long enough to worry about that too much.
Commence mission. Destroy the arms fort Stigro. Confirmed. Stigro has been destroyed. Mission complete. You're a real pro now.
So as you can see, they're not very tough. There's that big blade that they've got. Yeah, you can also, another quite fun way you can try and do to destroy it is by landing on it with a blade and then slashing at it. Is sort of a dogfighting type way of destroying it. So obviously you've got an S rank, no damage taken, and just a bit of ammo cost for our rockets. So that actually finishes that mission tree. But you'll notice there's a new mission that's popped up in its place. Defend Megalis. This is quite a cool mission, and you want to make sure to do this mission to head towards the under endings. This will set you on the path to complete the other endings. But yeah, we're not going to change our setup too much. Going to change one of our weapons back to our minigun, just because the sniper rifle wasn't working out all that great. I might change our left weapon for a long range rifle.
Here is our request. Omer units have targeted Megalis for attack. Megalis is a power recycling plant and a key element in the line arc lifeline. We are working as fast as we can to establish adequate defenses, but the Omer forces are drawing too close too fast. The defenses will not be completed in time. This situation has left us no choice. We need you to defend Megalis. The Omer forces will consist mostly of aerial attack units. Do you think you can drive them off and protect the lives of millions of innocent citizens? Of course, we will compensate you as best we can. Thank you in advance for your help.
So yeah, if you're keeping up with the story, you'll notice that the client is actually Line Arc, which is the people that were sort of known as the terrorist organization in our previous playthrough. So things aren't looking as black and white as they did last playthrough. Yeah, we're obviously looking to defend something that civilians rely on against the corporations. So yeah, maybe the corporations aren't as good as they like to make out. But yeah, really cool mission. Quite important to the story as well. So yeah, let's give it a go.
Glint's mission. Protect Megalus and eliminate all enemy units. The enemy's main force is Omer's aerial brigade. They'll make trouble if you give them the opportunity.
This is the Megalus base, Commander. We're counting on you. Don't let us down.
So the main guys we need to worry about in terms of damaging us are those guys we just destroyed with the big boosters. But these guys, or the drones, shouldn't sort of give us too much difficulty. You want to destroy them as quickly as possible to stop them doing too much damage to the facility. Got some more of the other targets on us. But yeah, I recommend taking a relatively accurate weapon, just because some of the targets are quite small. It might be a good idea as well to bring quite fast next, just that way you can avoid taking as much damage as possible and stop the facility taking as much damage as possible. Really like the soundtrack to this mission actually.
Enemy reinforcements inbound. An aerial arms fort. An eclipse. Omer must mean business. Watch for the main laser cannon. It may be a factory model, but it still packs a punch.
So when you hear that, you just want to have a quick scan around just to make sure you haven't missed any targets. Yeah, this is the arms fort that we need to worry about. But unless you're below it, you haven't really got to worry about any of its attacks. Quite cool looking though. Looks a bit like a flying saucer. It does have that big laser cannon on the bottom, sort of reminds me of the cannon that the bunker has in Borderlands 2. But like I said, other than that, you don't really have to worry about it.
Confirmed. All targets destroyed. Mission complete.
Megalus has taken very minor damage. Nice work, Lynx.
Yeah, he goes down with not too much difficulty. I did have it where he exploded, but the mission didn't end and it didn't recognise that he'd been destroyed. So I did have to replay this mission. But as you can see, it did say that Megalus damage was very minor, even though it looked like it took quite a lot of damage and we weren't the quickest at defeating all the targets. Still did well enough to get an S rank and got a nice payout. No special reward though, unfortunately. We did take a little bit of damage, but that was probably mainly from the normal enemies with the energy weapons that penetrate our primal armour. But even still, we got a nice S rank. So again, happy with that result. And let's move on to the next mission. So for doing that mission as well, we got some FRS units. So I'll just stick these into aim precision. Other than getting energy output and KP output, I tend to not really worry about where I put my other points. Load can be quite a useful one, increasing your weight capacity. Maneuverability can be quite a good statistic to put them in. Increases the speed at which your arms move around. Very good for if you have a lightweight sort of faster armored core, be quite useful for that. Firing stability can be quite useful if you're using a lot of weapons that you need to be really accurate with. Same with aim precision. Energy weapon skill tends to be quite an essential stat to put points in with some builds. Like obviously if you're using an energy weapons build, you're going to want to put all your points in there. Lock speed can be quite useful. ECM resistance isn't very useful. Doesn't really tend to come up in many missions. And then you can increase your defenses of all your different parts. And then you can increase your maneuverability a little bit. So it's just basically up to you and where you want to dedicate some extra points. So we've got 2 more missions to complete in this chapter. No, sorry, we should have 1 more mission to complete in this chapter. So I'm going to do Defeat Unknown next on hard. And then I'll complete it on normal afterwards to advance the story. And on hard mode, this mission is going to be quite different. If you remember on normal, the next we're going to be going up against is sort of distracted facing other enemies, but before it sort of gets your attention and comes over to try and attack you. But on hard mode, he tends to come over pretty much straight away and just start like he's just a lot more aggressive. But hopefully we should get some lucky shots on him with our rockets and some of our other weapons and be able to destroy him before he's too much to worry about. Again, skipping the briefing because we've already seen it. And we're not going to select partner.
Commence mission. Destroy the unidentified next.
So you can see
Don't
him
be
there.
intimidated. He may be a bit skilled, but he's just another Lynx like yourself.
Whose peon is it this time? Perfect time. I was getting tired of arms forts.
Don't know if he's got more health
Into
either.
obscurity forever. What I deserve for not taking this more seriously.
But I assume so because we used all our rockets.
Confirmed. Unidentified
But we did
next
miss a lot of
destroyed.
shots.
Mission complete. It looks like you're improving out there.
But as you can see, there's some other enemies here as well that we need to worry about. I don't think they're there on normal mode. Thankfully we got an S rank. Not quite sure what the special bonus is for. I think that might be for protecting some of the other units that are there that are friendly. Ammo costs are quite high, but not too bad because we mainly use rockets. Repair costs are really high, but thankfully we've got a lot of health. So wasn't too much of an issue in terms of our armor points. But even with the cost, we got a nice S rank. I find that some of the hard missions, especially those against other armor cores or arms forts, tend to be quite lenient in terms of giving you an S rank. So we got 6 units of FRS memory for doing that and getting the S rank. And I'm just going to complete the mission on normal to advance the story and then catch you guys back on the other side. So welcome back, guys. Completed that mission on normal. I did have a quick look around and there doesn't seem to be any other enemies that we need to worry about, just the armoured core on normal. So if you're wondering the difference, that's the main difference, and he did obviously have a lot less health. So that brings us to the end of chapter 2, and if you notice, there's something a little bit different. So last time we only had this mission, defeat White Glint, and that was for the corporations. And this time we've got defend line arc, so we'll actually be working alongside White Glint, defeating some armor cores sent by the corporations to destroy us. But in between episodes, I did do a little bit of customization. So we switched back to our sort of old build in terms of our body parts, but our weapons, our arms are actually weapon arms, and they're Kojima weapons, so we'll be able to charge these up and use them to do a lot of damage against the nexts we'll be facing. Yeah, just wanted to show them off. They're really, really cool. And on our backs we got rockets just as a backup and to get in some damage at the start of the mission. But because these are arm weapons, we can leave these to charge and still use our left back weapon. So we're not completely defenseless while we're using our weapon, while we're waiting for our weapon arms to charge up. You don't have to charge them up, they just do a lot more damage if you do. But yeah, really cool mission, this one. Hopefully it goes quite well. Sometimes the AI can be a little bit buggy, but yeah, let's see how it goes.
This is what we want you to do. The League is launching an all-out offensive against Line Arc. They have been trying to break us through indirect, surreptitious means for some time, but we have stood firm. Now they're dropping the pretense and showing their true colors. The ace up our sleeve is White Glint. But if the League comes at us with everything they've got, even that won't be enough. That's why we need you to be our trump card. The corporations abandoned the planet's surface and the people who live there. They are no longer part of a rational economic system that supports society. They have become no more than elitist parasites. You know the truth. A world ruled by the League is doomed. We, the people, must control our own lives and build our own future. Of course, we will pay you as much as we can. Please, help us in this fight for freedom.
So yeah, it definitely seems like we're taking a bit of a better path this playthrough and sort of pointing out some of the hypocrisy of the corporations, which is pretty cool. Let's see how the mission goes.
Those slimy politicians with all their empty calls to arms in the name of liberty. I'll sink the whole lot of you to the bottom of the ocean. You ready, Fragile?
Preparations complete.
Good to hear. Move out.
Commence mission. Cooperate with White Glint and eliminate the League Nexts. We've detected 2 enemy Nexts, Stasis and Fragile. Stasis? It's on Starva, the rank 1 Lynx. The League isn't holding back.
White Glint operator Fiona Jarnefeld here. I appreciate the assistance. Good
So
luck
just
to both
letting
of
our
us.
Kojima cannons charge up as much as possible. And if he gets close, fire at him like
Damn it,
that.
I'm sinking. I can't go down like this.
Let's starve it down. And that just leaves Cube, who tends to give a lot of people quite a lot of trouble. And he's the AI-driven
have left me no
armor
choice.
core.
Initiating Plan D.
White Glint is disabled. He cannot come to your help any longer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is 1 against 1. Test applicability increased. Excellent.
At a certain point, White Glint's sort of scripted to be destroyed.
Reversing from the AMS.
Confirmed. Fragile has been destroyed. Mission complete. In the end, only you remain. I can't believe it. Just a brief moment of relief. Let's make the most of it.
Fellow Lynx, allow me to express our gratitude. Thank you. However, this might mean the end of Line Arc.
So yeah, thankfully got an S rank. Can be quite a difficult mission, but like I said, at a certain point, White Glint is scripted to be destroyed, and he sinks into the ocean similar to how we did last playthrough. Ostava doesn't sort of tend to cause too much difficulty. Obviously Cube can be quite difficult. With the machine guns he's got on his back, he can absolutely obliterate your primary armour, and it means you take a lot of damage. But thankfully he hasn't got much health, so with quite a charged shot of Kojima cannons, I don't think you need to wait for them to be fully charged. He should basically go down in one hit. And thankfully at the start of the mission, if you saw, we fired our rockets and got some damage on to Ostava as he was coming in. So yeah, it went really, really well. A lot of the time, some of the armoured cores can get sort of stuck on some of the pillars, which can work to your advantage, because then it means that you can just hit them with as many shots as you possibly can and hopefully get some good damage in. But I tend to prefer to go out to the right or the left. It's completely up to you, where it's a little bit more open to stop that happening. Just tends to make it a bit more of a interesting, more fun fight. But yeah, really cool, really happy with that result. Just want to show off the Kojima cannons a little bit.
Reinhardt's White Glint and Fragile have been heavily damaged. Stasis sank into the sea, and Ostava is missing. According to our intelligence, the only confirmed survivor is White Glint's partner.
They are too cocky for their own good. Especially our boy genius, Ostava.
Maybe. Maybe not. Something about this whole thing stinks.
In any case, White Glint has fallen, and I sincerely doubt the survivor is going to be Reinhardt's successor. We have achieved our basic objectives.
Yes, but we paid the price. So you think you can take their place? What about Gerald?
What do you mean?
Nothing. It's just the old fogies aren't as much used to us now, are they?
Are you looking for a fight? Enough. If you've got something to prove, do it on the battlefield. No one's stopping you there. Besides, there is still a lot we have to discuss. For example, this Ontario assault. What are we to do with the survivors?
So as you can see, things aren't all that great within Collard next that we were fighting with last playthrough. So it'll be interesting to see how things sort of turn out with us taking the opposing side. But for completing that mission, we got an arm weapon and a back weapon, and we unlocked some new parts, and we got some FRS units. So just going to save the game very quickly. And as you can see, the arm weapon that we've got is the machine gun that Cube uses. Change our arms really quickly so you can compare it to another machine gun. So in comparison to the starting machine gun, you can see it's a little bit worse in quite a few areas, but it's got a higher fire rate, a lot more in the magazine, a little bit less recoil as well, so it's quite good if you've got a machine with weaker arms, so the recoil isn't as much of an issue. Didn't mean to back out of that, sorry. And then we also got his back machine guns, which are only really useful in close range, but they absolutely destroy primary armour, so they're really, really good against other armoured cores. We compare it to the chain guns. I think that attack power is just for one of them when there's sort of four mounted together, but I'm not entirely sure. But either way, it does do a lot of damage. I'll show this off a little bit later on in the playthrough. But something else to point out as well is that for completing that mission, we actually unlock White Glint's parts. Very, very cool looking. I'll show off the overboosted them for them as well later on. And yeah, that'll wrap this episode up. In between episodes, I'll get our armor core looking a little bit better, a little bit more like what Glint should, and do a little bit of customization. Switch back to a medium weight build and show off the white Glint parts. They're definitely my favourite in the game. Very, very cool. And then we'll make our way with Chapter 3. And I'm pretty sure the first mission we're going to be doing is destroy Arteria Ulna, but I'll have to check against my spreadsheet just to make sure that's correct. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.